Where's that Joe? Oh, here. Here's the Joe. Oh, that is good Joe. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That is good Joe. Yes, indeed-a-roonies. Yes, indeed-a-roonies. Yes, well, it's Tuesday. Whoops. The day that time forgot. Gotta hold on just a sec here. There you go. I'd hate to have Celeste be in the house and have the light not be lit up over there. See how out of practice we are? Goodness gracious. So out of practice, the early bird special isn't the early bird special anymore. Sorry. So I wanted to read you this little thing. This is a quote from a letter by one Scott Wiseman, is his name, Scott Wiseman. This song was written in 1939 when Lulabelle and I spent a year at radio station WLW Cincinnati. In our guest room at home, when I was a child, there was a fancy old cup and saucer which sat on the dresser. The phrase, "Remember me," was on the cup in fancy gold lettering. We children were not allowed to touch this memento of the sentimental gay 90s, somehow connected with the courtship of Mother and Dad. Feeling a bit homesick and sentimental during the bustle of radio shows and road trips, I made up the song while riding in the car to personal appearance jobs. The lyric was not intended to apply to any particular person. That's a letter that the author of this song wrote back in the day. Okay? Okay. The sweetest songs belong to lovers in the gloaming. The sweetest days were the days that used to be. The saddest words I ever heard were words of parting. When you said, "Sweetheart, remember me." Remember me when the candlelights are gleaming. Remember me at the close of a long, long day. It would be so sweet when all alone I'm dreaming, just to know you still remember me. You told me once that you were mine alone forever, and I was yours till the end of eternity. But all our vows are broken now, and you will never be the same except in memory. Remember me when the candlelights are gleaming. Remember me at the close of a long, long day. It would be so sweet when all alone I'm dreaming, just to know you still remember me. A brighter face may take my place when we're apart, dear. Another love with a heart more bold and free. But in the end, fair weather friends will break your heart, dear. And if they do, sweetheart, remember me. Remember me when the candlelights are gleaming. Remember me at the close of a long, long day. It would be so sweet when all alone I'm dreaming, just to know you still remember me. Remember me when the candlelights are gleaming. Remember me at the close of a long, long day. It would be so sweet when all alone I'm dreaming, just to know you still remember me, just to know you still remember me, just to know you still remember me. There you go. There's your early bird special. You didn't even have to be early to hear it tonight. Yeah. Special. Special. What's the special about it? Well, it's one of the old time songs. One of the old songs. It's one of those old time. Hi. Hi. Got to get the feng shui back up there. That's what I got to do. Welcome to Treehouse Concert number 58, the Gimpy Dude edition of the Treehouse Concert. You know, it's amazing what a little adrenaline will do, and some good Joe will do for the Gimpy guy. Yes, indeed. Cam and Pete! And Peter Rooney's. Yes, friends, around the horn we go. Thanks, Ma. Yeah. We got Demetra in the house. Jeff Steve's in the house. Deb Seymour. Hey, Deb. Ann Landerholm. Burke. Hey, Annie. Kelly Murphy's in the house. Who else we got? I'm going to scroll up. I'm scrolling up here just for a second. Just bear with me now. Lori Trout's in the house. Kim Nelson's in the house. Tim Schweinler. Okay, that's enough scrolling, Bill. No, I don't like to do too much scrolling, you know? Oh, Demetra with the mystery beverage. Yes, indeed. Up there in the Met-How. Any of them Met-Howians here tonight? Oh. Jeff Steve, I have got it. Goodness, man. Yeah. Gary Shilstad down there in Portland, Oregon. Goodness. Yeah. Alabama. Had a check-in from Alabama. Joe and Kat down there in Alabama. Well, you know, it's late there. Katrina knows it's late. It's late back east. Ooh. Hey. Worth the trip from Alabama. Speaking of subtle little things, Lori Trout, got the honorary Lori Trout shot here. It's not Jägermeister. Just FYI, it's not Jaeger. Lori Trout, I salute you. Okay. Whoa. I took a second for the pipes to open up there. Janine Boggs. Did I see Janine in the house? I thought I saw Janine Boggs, our designated chaser. So this is the order that I received the cups. See, that's why you end up being the chaser every time. Oh goodness. Wow, that chaser had some kick to it. Yeah. Then there's Val Sanford down there in Portland. Treehouse mug, custom treehouse mug. From Val Sanford. Yeah, Bubba. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Cindy Snyder, I may be using this more frequently tonight. Please, as I've said. Ooh. Cindy's always wondering what I got in here. Yeah. Then we got the Lame Cat Ranch out there on what you call your, where you got to do, in order to get to, you got to, that's how that works. For those of you who didn't know. Yeah. There's Rick Lewis in the house. Katrina, Monica Holverstadt's in the house. Hey, Monica, how are you? All right, we're back around to where we started. Back to the good Joe. I'll need that to kind of get, you know, to counteract some of that other activity that I've been doing there. Other activity. All right. So, I am a little out of practice. Actually, we both are. Diane and I are both out of practice. And I think there's a loose rafter on this, a loose a shingle on. It's the hand, ladies and gentlemen, the hand. The hand has made it back up to the second floor, the third floor. back here into the Treehouse Central, the nerve center of the whole operation. Ooh, I forgot how good you smell. Welcome back, Henry. Okay. The hand is glad for two computers. She came upstairs to the hand area, to the green room, and where she usually sits to do her command center thing, because she's really in control of what's going on here, as you know. And the computer upstairs started to update its software systems right at the critical moment. So she had to be downstairs, down there in the working area. Okay, we got Annie and Robert in the house. Tim and Demetra. These are essential personnel, Scott and Rhonda Higgins. They're out in an Indian restaurant right now. Can't remember what it was. Now I can't remember what it's called. But it's an Indian restaurant down there in Tacky Town, I think. Scott and Rhonda. Bill Woolham's in the house. Bill Woolham had to turn the sound down on the tennis match. But hey, it's only for an hour, Bill. Turn on your the DVR or whatever. You can watch it later. Cindy Snyder in the house. Cindy's always checking in on me. She's always making sure I'm okay. She's like having a nurse that I can talk to via text. Wait, late breaking messages coming in from the front. The hand. Don't try to walk away. Don't try to sneak out. I knew she was going to try and just do a touch and go here. Yes, I got that note. Already had that in the thing. Holly Tuttle and Kim Nelson, the Lame Cat Ranch. Are Holly and Kim here tonight? Gotta know, Lori Trout. Hey, you know, I think I'm weaving a little bit from that shot, or whatever it was. Jeff Steve is in the house. Who else? Kathy and Loris. Kathy Brewer, Loris O'Toole from over there in Montana. Katrina Knight, who is here local. She's down there are you still down in the Tri-Cities area? She's been out here on this coast, actually visiting friends out here. Diane and I got to meet up with Katrina and with Mickey Perry this last weekend. We went out and had a cup of coffee with him. Real life, in person. Wow. Yeah, Treehouse Connections, man. It's cool. So, Mark Kenny here. Who else? Monica Holverstadt, Roland and Dorothy Burge, Deb Seymour, Janine Boggs. Oh, my goodness. All right, there's my notes. Put these over here in that area, that designated area. Have I played any music yet? Shouldn't I be doing that? Isn't that kind of what this is about? Before we go any further, I want to let you know that I will be back next week. I'm doing this again next week. That's my plan right now, unless something weird happens between now and then. Now, weird stuff's been going on, but I don't want anybody to think that I'm slacking on the whole treehouse situation. In fact, the treehouse has been front of mind through a lot of this weirdness, and I just want to make sure that everybody knows that I'm planning at least for the next week, I'm planning on doing this weekly. Yes, at least through next week. We will reassess as we go, because that's just kind of how life is now, you know. You got to reassess as you go. That's right, my friends. That's right. That's right, my friends. Wait a minute! What are you doing? Yeah, I got it. I already had that. I already saw that. All right, the hand was sneaking in there again. What are you going to do? Paper. Ooh. All righty. Okay. Here we go. Got to get all my paperwork in order here. Yeah, you know, I always think, what would it be like if I was just mellower, if I wasn't all... Because Tim, my friend Tim, who's out there, he always thinks I'm too amped up, you know? There's something to be said for adrenaline, I'll tell you. That's one thing that's for sure. Now, I'm going to dip back. I'm going to go back to where all this isolation time that we've been experiencing for the last year and a half kind of started. Back there when it was a new thing and we were thinking, oh man, you know, we could be doing this for like 3 months or something, you know? This could go on for like 3 months or something. Yeah. So my songwriting group, Amy Reed had the idea, let's write a song about isolation. Yeah. Excuse me, I'm just going to do a little housekeeping here. Excuse me while I'm just going to take this, I'm going to just move it down like that. I'm going to take this, I'm going to move it down like this. You're seeing the behind the scenes kind of stuff now. There we go. This is called Couples Hymn. Nope.
People in my head, one of them said, staring through half-open blinds, none of what's sacred's been spread over the dead, echoes in an unsettled mind. Isolation is a cavity, isolation with its gravity. I know I've seen about as much of me as anyone can take. That's how I know that you and I are no mistake. No mistake. We never knew that fear could feel like this. Equal parts bliss and lists of the recently gone. And what about that vinegar and piss we don't really miss with each irreplaceable dawn? Isolation is a cavity, isolation with its gravity. I know you've seen about as much of me as anyone can take. That's how I know that you and I are no mistake. No mistake. No mistake.
There you go. That's the couples hymn. Yeah. Yes, sirree, Barbarino. Well, goodness, I've done one song and it's already 17 minutes after. Yeah, so I'm a little out of practice. Are you guys out of practice too? So is this the experience that you guys have every time you come here? You got to do the refresh thing. You got to do the refresh. Is that you got to refresh? You got to refresh. Is that still true, or does it just show up? Is the Facebook algorithm still kind of funkadelic like that? Yeah. I don't know. Well, you got to do your chores before you get into the treehouse. I guess you got to finish up your chores. Song called Walk on the Day Before.
What's this I see? A heavenly eyes crying down on me. Let's take to the streets and walk on the day before it walks on me. All my gratitude, been eaten alive by this attitude. Head down in the rhythmic rain, doing my damnedest to crash this dance again. And this is just like what Jackie saw. Jackie's gone down Drunkard Lane. Jackie is gone, but I guess his eyes remain. Ooh, ooh. Making my day. That's what the crystalline mystics say. Then who the hell are they? They're floating above the real world anyway. Ooh, must I really condemn them too? I got enough to do, working to prove that what I fear is true. And but haven't you seen about enough of me? I'm gonna climb that tree and wait for the lightning to fry off my misery. Ooh, ooh. Seeing a lot of mirror. What's this I see? Those heavenly eyes are crying down on me. Let's take to the streets and walk on the day before it walks on me.
Hey! Walk on the day before, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Oh yeah. Val Sanford's in the house. Wait a minute. Hold up. Val Sanford's in the house. Janine Boggs is in the house. Janine Boggs is coming. There's Lori Trout. Lori Trout's in there. Lori Trout's. Look. Next time I should just bring the bottle up with me, shouldn't I? That's just one of a dozen or so. One of a dozen or so different. Checking my paperwork here. Oh, goodness. I'm hearing, is there a low-flying aircraft? It's the hand! The hand is back, ladies and gentlemen. The what? We might be running a little long here. Just the way things have been going. It's just not. Kelly Murphy. Oh, okay. Julie's here too. Hey, Julie Powell's in the house. Dave Thompson's come. Wait a minute. Now, Dave Thompson was here the last time we did a show, and he came back? Okay. All right. I believe there may be some pharmaceuticals that might help you out there. Rick Lewis has made his presence known. Janine Boggs wants the Great Father song. I hear you, Janine. Now, Jeff Steve. Interesting. All right. Well, we're moving into an area. If I'm checking my notes. Yeah. Okay. What I feel like is being asked for is two songs that I played at the last show. But you know what? If people want them, I do requests. I mean, that's the way it is. But Janine wants that Great Father song. I'm going to give that some thought, Janine, because I've done it, several of them. Tell you what, Janine, I'm going to do the one that Jeff wanted. And if this happens to be the one that you wanted too, let me know let us know in the comments, okay? And I'll check it out. Oh, it's Father's Day? Oh, well, there you go then. So now Jeff said that tomorrow he turns a day older than his father. So he wanted to hear The Day I Was Older. I'm assuming that's the one you're talking about. So tomorrow's Jeff Steve's birthday? Why don't I have that on my list? Wait a minute. Hold on. I'm just making some notes for later. We'll be right back to your regularly scheduled programming here in a moment. Obviously, Jeff doesn't have his birthday up there in the old Homeland Security area. Now, I did play this song 3 weeks ago, but you've probably forgotten all about that, so. I only know because I checked my notes. I keep notes now, because otherwise, I'd be doing the same, 4 or 5 songs every time we get together. So this is the song I wrote when I became older than my dad, which was in November of 2017, I believe. My dad died when he was 99 days shy of his 60th birthday. And I hit that mark, I believe it was November of 2017, when I hit that mark. I stole the title from Donald Hall. He's got a great poem in a book called The Happy Man, called The Day I Was Older. So with apologies to Don, here's my version. And this is for Jeff Steve. The day I was older, I thought about Dad, his cartoon faces and the talks that we had. I picked up this guitar and played something sad, and that was the day I was older. The day I was older, I called my best friend. We spoke of our history and how it might end, and all the love letters that we'll never send. And that was the day I was older. We don't talk enough about grace anymore. Our gratitude sleeps in a box by the door. We shop to feel better and live in the store, and fellowship keeps getting colder. The day I was older was all in my head. I counted them down and I colored them red, then wished like the devil there was more to be said. But that was the day I was older. We don't talk enough about grace anymore. Our gratitude sleeps in a box by the door. We shop to feel better and live in the store, and fellowship keeps getting colder. The day I was older, the day I was older. Jeff. There you go, sir. There you go. Yes, Rennie. Yes, friends. Ah, strange days. Strange days. The hand is back! She knows that she's more popular than I am, so she knows that the more times she shows up, the longer I can go. Oh. Oh! Dun, dun, dun. Life in the gulag continues apace. I'm glad to hear that. Jeff's birthday was in April. Tomorrow is the day he will be older than his dad ever was. Dang, dang. Okay, let me get just a moment here. Just gotta correct some. Make a few little small notes, small little things. I need lots of notes. Yeah, thanks, Jeff. I don't know why that made tomorrow your birthday. Yeah, sorry. So you did the math too. All right then. Okay. Well, there you go. There you go. There you go. All right, people. Wait a minute. New strings.
Edsel came from the city, he landed out here in the trees. He brought his digital baggage and his eccentricity. Got his tractor running on a bench up over the hill, and the sound of that heavy equipment brought a curse and a laugh and a chill. Send some love to your parents, estranged back over the humps. Then drive down into your talents, give it gas when you get to the bumps. Voodoo peak in his left eye, Pipestone Canyon the right. He realigned all of his systems, worked the day and slept the night. Picked up a shovel on Christmas, picked up a shovel in June, picked up his daddy's old arch top and made something new with the moon. Send some love to your parents, estranged back over the humps. Then drive down into your talents, give it gas when you get to the bumps. You'll get to the bumps. Edsel couldn't have been happier in his drafty old trailer estate, but he got real high last November and he broke through the ice at the lake. The city people gave him a service, the country folk danced all night. Some people made new plans that day and some folks got it right. Send some love to their parents, estranged back over the humps. Then they drove down into their talents, gave it gas when they got to the bumps. And they got to the bumps. So send some love to your parents, estranged back over the humps. Then drive down into your talents, give it gas when you get to the bumps.
Book of Edsel, that's called. That's right, friends, the Book of Edsel. The Book of Edsel. Where did he put them? Where are they? Where did he put them? Where's the deals? What's the thing? Where's the part where he says, poetry break, poetry break, poetry break, poetry break, poetry. Amen. With the poetry over here, with the things. Now, the question is, will I be able to sit? Will I be able to... Yeah. There you go. Maybe if I lean. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Bill's Poetry Corner. So let's see. I thought I would try out some of these ones of mine tonight, just because, well, they've been sitting around long enough, and maybe if I embarrass myself by reading some of these drafts, we will call them drafts, is what we'll do in public. That might be getting me to pay more attention to them and actually do something with them, right? So I'm going to try some of these out. These are untried, untested, never been driven off the lot, actually, if you really want to know the truth. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I've been writing some pretty gloomy stuff here of late, so I tried to weed through some of that and pick out the least gloomy of the bunch. I'm just going to try a few of these. I've got some other stuff I want to read tonight, too. All right? Okay, this one's called A Better Wing. I'm going to start with A Better Wing. Always to fly on a better wing is the first half of life. Conquered hills, notches of lovers, too much pride to pause and pay the freight. The old man sees it, remembers its weight. The thrill of learning late to collect and create. The worn arms of chairs, chips on the rim of a plate, connect to stories of intimates gathered at the gate. The long eyes of age are ash in the grate. The outstretched arms carelessly, nervously, eagerly wait. A Better Wing, that's called. Playing around with some sound and some rhythm in there. We shall see what we shall see. Now, as you know, I've been trying to write the perfect Fox Island poem for some time now. This one isn't it. But you keep whacking away at it. This one's called All of This. And it's got an epigram. It's actually got an epigram. Yeah, very lofty. I have to do that every once in a while just so I can tell people that I was a literature major. Yeah. So the epigram is from Elizabeth Bishop. So, it goes like this. Timorously pecking for subsistence along the coastlines of the world. Elizabeth Bishop said that. This is called All of This. What is my habit, my catalog of reference, my casual fascination with particular shores of saltwater memory? The soles of our feet, grown tough and calloused by endless hours barefoot on rocks and sand, avoiding the barnacles of low tide, the slippery seaweed rocks of youthful slip and fall, the downward, always downward of the agate search, and mayonnaise jars of pretty stones up from the wet treasure of beach. But what about the sodden woods, the curved blade of a fern bough, the bright orange underbelly of a salamander, or silver snot trails of banana slugs? Up from the barnacles and kelp beds, 50-foot madronas leaning over the bank, their precarious purchase hinting at a future as driftwood. My great-uncle's machete, tied around my right wrist, clearing a trail through blackberry thickets to reach the edge where the giant tree offered a bridge to thin air and a sense of our temporary presence on the earth, of our daydreams, our loves and lusts, our walking through wet woods toward a cup of sunlight at the end of a green trench. This was where the scene world and imagination met. The notebook stuffed down the back of my pants as I swung the blade. The falling vines would be back in a week, tougher and more insistent on crossing the divide that separated daylight from daydream. pages of adolescent angst that longed to be elsewhere, yet pressed the maple leaf, big as a catcher's mitt, between them. It was the hush, the white noise of waves, of tugboat engines, bees and mosquitoes, snap of a deer-trodden twig out of sight behind layers of trunks and vines. The silence made a cave for imagination, and sounds like the humming of monks in the hours of contemplation. All of that led to this. Yeah. Anyway, I think I might have read this one. I wrote this one after Lawrence Ferlinghetti passed. Old Father Ferlinghetti, didn't get him when I was young. Saw shallows where there were deeps, and his whirling dance of indents and sweeps seemed showy to me, but he was teaching us to read. I'm going to start that again. Old Father Ferlinghetti, didn't get him when I was young. Saw shallows where there were deeps, and his whirling dance of indents and sweeps seemed showy to me, but he was teaching us to read. Old Father Ferlinghetti had spaghetti on his sleeve. He waited in shadows for the sun to come up from its primeval cup, from which all color rose and warmed his old toes. Old Father Ferlinghetti was a bicycle man, was a camera on a trip in the heat of the beats, their first and best thoughts, their cheats and retreats, on his pen at its tip, the pedals at his feet. There you go. Little bit of that. Now we're moving into the comfort food of one Philip Levine. Philip Levine, this is the last book of poems that Philip Levine published. It was actually published after his death. I wanted to read some of these because Philip Levine occupies a very interesting place in late 20th century and early 21st century American poetry, and that is this. He started out as the champion of the working man, talking about growing up in Detroit, the industrial Midwest, where he grew up. And he lived to see that whole area kind of closed down, shuttered, and crumbling. Yeah. So some of these last poems are him kind of mourning the world that he used to complain about when he was younger. It used to anger him. So I'm going to start with this one called Your Turn. A ruined Chevy, the windshield gone, the seats dragged out into the weeds, the guts trailing off into the orchard. If 7 trees make an orchard, on the porch looms the proud white refrigerator never paid for. Where are the kids, all blonde, all dirty, all barefoot, hiding in the weeds? These kids are too full of juice to hide that long. They could be crawling under the house where the dirt reeks of fish bait, or in the silo playing Kiss Your Uncle, or upstairs lounging in Papa's golf clothes like real people. You won't find them in the blurred photos of class reunions. You won't see them posed on the calendar that hangs behind the barber as he whisks talcum on your neck, snaps the sheet clean of curls, and cries out in a voice heard only in hell, "Who's next?" Philip Levine, one of my all-time favorites. This is called 1934. You might hear that after dark in towns like Detroit. Packs of wild dogs took over the streets. I was there. It never happened. In the old country before the Great War, my people were merchants and butchers. And then the killings drove the family first to England, then Canada, then here. My father's brother had a shoe repair shop for a time on Brush Street. He'd learned the trade from his father back in Kiev. My mother's family was in junk. The men were huge, thick-chested, with long arms and great scarred hands. My Uncle Leo could embrace a barrel of scrap metal, laugh out his huge laugh, and lift it up just for the joy. his wife, Rebecca, let her hair grow out in great wiry tangles and carried her little fists like hammers. Late summer Sundays we'd drive out to the country and pick armloads of sweet corn, boil them in sugar, and eat until we couldn't. Can you believe those people would let dogs take what was theirs, would cross an ocean and a continent to let anyone or anything dictate? After dark, these same men would drink out on the front steps. The neighbors claimed they howled at the moon, another lie. Sometimes they told stories of life back in Russia, stories I half believed of magic escapes and revenge killings, of the gorgeous Ukrainian girls they had. One night they tore up the lawn, wrestling until Leo triumphed, Leo in his vested suit, gray and sweat-stained. My Uncle Yosef was different. Tall and slender, he'd come into the family through marriage here in Michigan. A pensive, gentle man. When stray dogs came to the back door of the shoe shop, he'd let them in, even feed them. Their owners, he told me, barely had enough to feed themselves. Uncle Yosef would take a battered pair of work shoes and cut the soles off with a hooked cobbler's knife, then, drawing one nail at a time from his mouth, pound on a new sole. He'd pry off the heel and do the same. I was just a kid, 7 at most, and never tired of watching him. How at the polishing wheel the leather took on its color and began to glow. Once he made a knife for me, complete with a little scabbard that looped around my belt. The black handle, too, was leather, taken from a boot no one reclaimed. He pounded and shaped it until it felt like stone. Whenever you're scared, he told me, just rub the handle 3 times and nothing bad can happen. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. This one's called History. In an old photograph, you can find me picketing outside Breslin's Plumbing and Plating. Spring, April 12, 1951. Lilacs were in bloom on the divider strip of the outer drive. After dark, I'll cut a small branch to give my mother. She loves both the color and the bouquet. She still lives in the only house she ever owned. The house, the lilac bushes, the perfume of the blooms, her joy and sadness as she places them in a cut glass vase my father gave her the year before he died. None of this is in the photograph, taken from the Detroit Free Press and pasted in her lost scrapbook. That photograph is part of history. It's filed on microfilm in the archives of Labor and Urban Affairs at Wayne State, and even now must be turning into dust, giving up its facts and its faces. Ah, Philip. Ah, Philip. Now we're moving to a different volume. The Simple Truth, for which Philip Levine won the Pulitzer Prize in Poetry in 1995. I got to read a couple of these. Well, let me see. No, I'm going to read one from this, and then I'm going to end with The Mercy. But I got to read this love poem. I love this. One of my favorite love poems of all time. It's called In the Dark. In the last light of a summer day facing the Canadian shore, we watched from the island as night sifted into the river, blackening the still surface. An oar-boat passed soundlessly, trailing a tiny wake that folded in upon itself with a sigh, unless that sigh was hers or mine. In the darkness, it's hard to tell who is listening and who is speaking. St. Augustine claimed we made love in the dark, though he did not write made love, because we were ashamed to do it in the sight of anything, although I suppose God could see in the dark, having at least as good eyesight as a cat. Our cat Nellie used to like to watch my wife and me at love, but she was not a creature who generalized, and of all things she liked a happy household. God loves a happy giver, I read in the Abyssinian chapel on top of the Holy Sepulchre, which suggests The old saint had no idea what he was talking about, but in the darkness, it's not easy to tell who's talking and who listening, who giving, who taking, who praying, who cursing. Even then, watching from the island, I thought that making love was a form of prayer. You got down on your knees, if you were a boy, and prepared yourself for whatever the future held in store, and no matter how firm your plans, without the power of another power, you were lost. It's so dark back then I can't tell what I'm thinking, although I haven't placed my hand on Millie's shoulder for nothing. Nor have I turned my face toward Millie's merely to catch a reflection of the darkness in her wide hazel eyes. Cat eyes, I used to call them. Millie sighs. The oar boat passes silently to disappear into a future that's still mysterious. I take a breath, the deepest breath of my life, and knowing the generations of stars are watching from above, I go down on my knees in prayer. It's called In the Dark. It's just the best. It's just the best. This book, The Mercy, is dedicated to the memory of his mother. And I wanted to read this one about his mother. Whew. Might have to try some different glasses. My eyes are going out of focus. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Do I look more intellectual now? Hi there. Whew. These ones are fogging up. The Mercy. The ship that took my mother to Ellis Island 83 years ago was named the Mercy. She remembers trying to eat a banana without first peeling it, and seeing her first orange in the hands of a young Scot, a seaman who gave her a bite and wiped her mouth for her with a red bandana and taught her the word, orange, saying it patiently over and over. A long autumn voyage, the days darkening with the black waters calming at night came with the black waters calming as night came on, then nothing as far as her eyes could see, and space without limit, rushing off to the corners of creation. She prayed in Russian and Yiddish to find her family in New York, prayers unheard or misunderstood or perhaps ignored by all the powers that swept the waves of darkness before she woke, that kept the Mercy afloat while smallpox raged among the passengers and crew until the dead were buried at sea with strange prayers in a tongue she could not fathom. The Mercy I read in the yellowing pages of a book I located in the windowless room of the library on 42nd Street, sat 31 days offshore in quarantine before the passengers disembarked. There a story ends. Other ships arrived. Tancred out of Glasgow, the Neptune registered as Danish, Umberto IV. The list goes on for pages. November gives way to winter. The sea pounds this alien shore. Italian miners from Piemonte dig under towns in western Pennsylvania only to rediscover the same nightmare they left at home. A 9-year-old girl travels all night by train with one suitcase and an orange. She learns that mercy is something you can eat again and again while the juice spills over your chin. You can wipe away with the back of your hand, and you can never get enough. There you go. Glasses are all fogging up and everything. Goodness gracious. More mystery beverage, please. What's our time looking like? 7:54. What the heck? What the heck? What have I done? Like 2 songs? 3 songs? 4 songs? I still owe Janine Boggs a song. Janine, I hope you're still here. Milt Foreman's in the house. All right, Milt. Good to see you. Bridget Lacey. Pauline Jones. Holly Trout Cooper. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. The bigwigs are here. Big time people. Big time people. Sorry, I'm a little out of practice on reading poetry too. All right, Janine, I hope this is the one you wanted. This is called Father's Day.
Where is the sun? I've been searching all day. Down an intricate network of roads where he's likely to stray, where it's spoken in eyes and printed in skin. The infinite network of cells that connects me to him. Where is the sun? Where is the sun? Where is the sun? Where is the sun? Is he driving away? With a claw at the tip of his tongue, so there's nothing to say. With a heart full of hands that are aching for touch, and a head full of innocent fears about feeling too much. Where is the sun? Where is the sun? Where is the sun? Where is the sun? I guess everyone knows the pull between a man and a boy, how it swells as he grows, and the pivotal scene. They let go of the rope. All the words and the plans are released, leaving only the hope. Where is the sun? Where is the sun? Where is the sun? Sorry. Where is the sun? He's still living in me, with pages of unanswered questions he no longer sees. So he passes them on without thinking of cost, in the hope that the echoes of blood will replace what is lost. Where is the sun? Where is the sun? Here is the sun. Where is the sun? Where is the sun? Here is the sun.
Yeah, I did my best there, Janine. Did my best there, Janine. But hey there, kids! Let's get around the ICU2 TV set. We got some birthdays to talk about. Now, I'm going to be back next week, right? So, just got a few birthdays to talk about. First one is a R.I.P. birthday. Today was the birthday of Janine and Julie's dad, John Boggs. Yeah, R.I.P. John Boggs. His birthday was today. So happy birthday to John Boggs, and blessings upon Julie and Janine here tonight. Tomorrow, Wednesday, the 8th of September, Broe Karpenko, my old friend from up there in the Meadow, is having her birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday, Broe. A couple of old Victory Music friends, Mr. Tom Wilson down there in Tacoma and Mr. Hank Kramer, both having birthdays tomorrow. Happy birthday to you, both of you folks. On Thursday, from over there in Chelan, Hurricane Heather Winters, she now lives up there, Hood Canal area. Hurricane Heather Winters is celebrating her birthday, formerly of KOZI, Radio Lake Chelan. Hurricane Heather is having her birthday on Thursday, as is Jake Owens. Happy birthday to Jake and to Heather on Thursday. On Friday, Whitworth people, Lori McQuaig, Cale Sherrard, both have their birthday on Friday, the 10th. Happy birthday to Lori and to Cale Sherrard. Also, Katie Rusk, another KOZI alum, having her birthday on Friday. Happy birthday, Katie. On Saturday, Morgan Tate from up in the Meadow and Cloudbird Bonin from up in the Meadow, both having birthdays. A couple of Medhowians. Happy birthday to Morgan. Happy birthday, Cloud. That is on Saturday, the 11th. On Sunday, the 12th, Mr. Drew Strepp, my stepnephew. Yes, my stepnephew. Drew Strepp is having his birthday on Sunday. Happy birthday to Drew. And on Monday, a couple of famous musicians here in the Great Northwest. Mr. Larry Morante is having his birthday on Monday, as is Faye Wadenhoft. Both of those guys having their birthdays together on Monday. Happy birthday to Larry. Happy birthday to Faye. And that's it. That's it. Yeah, because we're going to be back here next Tuesday, right? Now, I got to tell you, once again, let me stress, attendance is not mandatory. We do take roll every week. As you may have noticed, the hand is, we do take roll, but don't worry about it. You don't have to make it to every one of them. I'm going to do this every week. I can't expect people to make it to every one of them. Heck, I probably won't make it to every one of them myself. Just look at my track record. Yeah. Okay, I got one more. And then I'm going to be fully cooked and ready to serve for tonight. So thank you for your patience. I'm sorry if I was a little rusty tonight. What am I apologizing for? Cindy, please. Ooh. Yeah. Thanks for the request. That was cool. Yeah, I could do that. I could do more of that. That would be fun. But I don't want to play the same songs next week that I played this week. So, just saying. Just for my own sense. I've got a large list to draw from. So this is an old one. This song, well, it tells you how long ago I wrote it, right in the first couple of lines, so I guess I don't need to go into that. Hold on.
All my neuroses are shining at 35. Must be some chemical thing. Still adjusting to the fact that I'm still alive. That number sure got a ring. Wide road, wide turns, lined by fences and fields. Turn now, turn back. Aren't those your hands on the wheel? My mother still smokes the same brand of cigarettes she did when I was in school. And yeah, she still looks good when she's holding one. She's not too old to be cool. I guess I do dwell a lot on longevity. My father died premature. Right now my daughter's out there dancing to Graceland. Her movements seem so secure. Wide road, wide turns, lined by fences and fields. Turn now, turn back. Aren't those your hands on the wheel? Friends are starting to use words like midlife. That scares the shit out of me. It's also frightening that a quarter of my time was spent in front of the TV. I guess I figured on a little more wisdom and fewer shots to the heart. We'd have this whole green world back together now. Why is it still breaking apart? Wide road, wide turns, lined by fences and fields. Turn now, turn back. Aren't those your hands on the wheel? Wide road, wide turns, lined by fences and fields. Turn now, turn back. Aren't those your hands on the wheel?
Here you go, folks. We done lived through it, didn't we? Didn't we? Yeah. Take care of each other, all right? And we'll be back here next week. We'll do this again, all right? Okay? You all right with that? Thanks, everybody, for coming and for remembering. Yeah, I appreciate it. It's holding me together. Thank you so much.